gentlemen, here really quickly again, I'm going to touch base and just do a quick tutorial video on making daisy chain for your sticks, your climbing sticks, out of 7/64 Amsteel material. Before we do, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a Samson splicing kit for braided line. You can Google this and you can find it on Amazon. It comes like that. You can Google that tag, just Samson splicing kit for braided line. You'll need that. That'll come with fids, different size fids that you can push through the braided line, and then it also comes with a little Samson pusher, which comes in handy when you go to finalize the tag end. And so you'll need that, and then you'll also need 7/64 Amsteel. You can find this Amsteel online. One of the places that I like to shop the best for this kind of stuff is called doublestep.com. They have everything you need. They have you can build your own tree stand, or your tree stand platform. You can build your own sticks. You can all the rope that you need, everything you need for this type of do-it-yourself gear, I guess, is on doublestep.com. You can get this Amsteel for 25 cents a foot. And so the goal today is we're going to make an 8-foot daisy chain. All right. And so before I get started, what you'll need to do, the measurements that you'll need, if you're going to do an 8-foot daisy chain, you're going to have to double that. And so an 8-foot, you'd go up to 16. 16 foot would be where your double mark would be, and then I add a foot to that marking. I'll go to 17 foot of material to make an 8-foot daisy chain. That 17 foot, that then that takes into account all your Brummel splices, your Brummel locking splices. That takes into account, the loop when you make it that goes around your Versa button, and that also takes into account when you get down towards the end. It takes into account you splicing and feeding that up through itself to make a nice ending for that. So again, my goal is to go for an 8-foot daisy chain. It's from my buddy in Wisconsin. He said they got a lot of mature timber there, and so bigger the better. So I'm going to go with 8-foot 8-foot daisy chain. You would just double that. If you double it, you'll be 16 foot, and that would just be from end to end. That's not taking into account any of your Brummel splices or even your Versa button loop and then your tagging. So I just add an extra foot. So you could do the same thing. If you want a 7-foot, you'd take 14 foot of material, add a foot. And so that adding in the foot will help you with that. So real quickly, I'm gonna bring the camera down so you can get a close-up view of how I get started. Now what I'll do right here where you can see is I just take the 2 ends of the material, and this is kind of a mess I've been throwing around. I'll get it all unraveled here, and there's my culprit. There's the culprit. Okay, here we go. Take both ends of the material, and I'll just pull it tight so I know that I'm right in the even mark. Okay, and then I'll come down here. This will be the start. This is the start of your Versa button. It's going to be right in the center, and so you can cross these both sides. You can cross them. Now I have an idea where I'm going to be. The way you would really do it, and I'll be right back. I'll just show you. And my buddy's using the API sticks, and so what you would do is, if you don't know or don't have an idea, you'll take these 2 ropes, you'll cross them, and then you'll just slowly try to figure out. You can hold the X, and then you slowly figure out where you're going to be by just sliding it over and still maintaining a little bit of pressure here. You want that to fit somewhat nice and tight, and so that's what you would do in this regard. You just put the loop over and then see how tight it would be when you slide it the rest of the way. And so you can do that with anyone, whether it's the Lone Wolf, the B Sticks, any of that. I have an approximation of where it's going to be because I've done them, and this was just for the tutorial. So I'm going to start right here with this X, and that will be my starting point. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to lower this camera down so you can see me make the splices, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here I have my Versa button loop. That's where I want to be at. All right. And so we are going to create a Brummel locking splice. And that is what we're going to need to hold the position of this loop and to keep it from when you apply this loop to your Versa button, it's slipping or pulling. And so what we're going to do is right here at this X, I'll take my time so you can see where I'm at. Right here at this X where we're going to make the splice, I'm going to take my finger. You could mark it with a pen if you want. You can get more technical if you want. Me personally, I'm just going to take it right here with my finger, and I'm going to push that open, which is going to cause your Amsteel to look like an accordion. When you do that, you can then take your FID. This one is a 1/4 inch, 6 millimeter FID, I believe, but you can take that and you can work it and just run it right through, right through the middle of this material. Let me do that again here. And it's really not that hard. Fortunately, I'm making it look hard. There we go. Okay, you just run it through. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the other end of your rope. So it's going to be a long end. You'll take the back side of that other end, and you'll feed it right into the back of the FID, like so, and just simply push it through. When you push that through, you can take this end and now just bring it all the way down. And you can see that we're back to a Versa button loop. Only now, the difference is I took one side of the rope and fed it right through the center. Try to get a little close-up of that. It just goes right through the center, and I can go in, I can go out, however, whatever I need, however length of a loop I need. And I'm just going to double check that because I just lost my measurement. But for the sake of the video, I'm trying to explain to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that loop back. Just give me 1 second to put it on that Versa button beside me. Perfect. Okay. And so this part of the rope, which makes this side, has now gone through right here. So what I'm saying is it's split this part of the rope that goes where my fingers are holding. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to now pinch this side right there with your finger, slide this up and out of the way, and now you're just going to simply push and do the same thing. So let me repeat that step. Right there's my Versa button loop. This fed through the center of this rope. And so now what we got to do to create that Brummel splicing lock type of a knot is we got to now take this side right here, and we got to feed it through the center of this rope. So what we're going to do again is we're going to just take our finger, hold it right there. We can slide this out of the way and just simply press this up like so. Take your FID, feed it right through the center. Just, don't split the strands, just feed the FID through. Okay? And so then you take the opposite end of the rope, you get the tail end of that rope, and you're working with 17 foot of material. Might take just a little bit. Push the FID right in, or right in the back of the FID, and push through. All right, now I'm just going to pull that end, and this is, I call it the figure S, the S knot. Call it the figure 8. As you can see, looks like an 8 but the term is a Brummel splice, Brummel locking splice. So you'll just pull that through, grab your knot, and you can see where whenever you pull it through and you cinch it, that creates your locking splice. And so that is the splice. Brummel locking splice, your Versa button knot. Simple, and it's easy. So from here, what we'll do is we will measure out, and we'll begin our braid, or we'll begin making more of these on down at a certain length. So what I like to do is if you go from this knot, the Brummel splicing knot, and for an 8-foot daisy chain, okay, for an 8-foot daisy chain, I am not going to start making more knots or splicing locks until I get down to 36 inches, all right? And I'll explain myself, or I'll explain why, but I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna measure 36 inches down, and then we'll pick back up. All right, so as you can see, I will go from a splicing lock. I'll go out to the end of the tape measure here, and I will just pinch both of the ropes right here at 36 inches. So the reason I'm going 36 inches is because this is an 8-foot, this will be an 8-foot daisy chain. And so on my other ones, I would do a 24-inch, but I can kind of set it up for you right here. This is the Versa buttonhole. All right, let's tuck that in my thumb. So that actually smaller than that because your sticks have standoffs. So if we would just estimate, the tree would actually be here. So you're talking at a tree that's at, and I would climb a tree like that. But then what would happen is if I started at 24 inches, that would make the diameter even smaller of the tree. So what I'm trying to say is if I go at 36 inches, that's that many, that's probably eight different splices that I don't have to do, because if I start at 36 inches, I still have literally 5 feet plus, and I can just wrap the daisy chain around the tree twice. I could actually get away with going to 40 or probably 45 inches, and then the trees that are smaller, you'll just double wrap and you'll start the splices down. So for the sake of continuity with the other ones I've done, we're going to stick with the 36 measurement. So 3 foot after 3 foot from the Versa button, that's where I'm going to start making these Brummel splicing locks. So here we'll start right, and we got the 3 foot. It doesn't matter which one, just take one of them, you just spread it apart, and basically you're going to repeat the steps that you took to get your Versa button. Okay, so if I'm going through that, then I'm going to want to take the opposite side of the rope, stick it in the fid, push and pull. And what you do is you'll just pull that all the way through, and to make sure that you know that we're where you are, where we need to be, just take your finger in the Versa button loop, just stretch that out, and so stretch both of them ropes tight, and that will bring you back to the even. Same as up when we did the Versa button loop. You have your X. This side of the rope right here, we just fed through the center of this rope. So what we need to do is we need to put our finger right at the edge of that rope, right where it came out the back side. Slide that down just a little bit. Press open, make the accordion, put the fid right through the center. Now you're going to take, again, the opposite rope, put it in the back of the fid, and your rope sometimes starts getting frayed and becomes a pain, so you can get some tape and tape it at the beginning if you want. I'm just going to show you a couple more. And so boom, that right there creates the first lock of your daisy chain part. Okay, so again, that's not going to go anywhere no matter which way you pull it. It's created, it's spliced within itself. And so what I like to do, grab the tape measure back, and this could be just for quick reference. Spin that around from my dominant hand. What I'll do, just for quick reference, is just, it don't matter if it's at the end or what, but we're going to make a 2-inch locking, or a little Versa button loop. So I just take right here at the center of my splice, just lay it right on the 2, and I'll just come down to the 4 quick. And again, all you're going to do is start the process over. Split, push your fid through, take the opposite. And there are other ways. I've seen other videos where they use more tools, and you know, it's very successful. Whichever way is best that you'd like to do it, you just go ahead and do that. And that's the beauty of DIY stuff, is you can do it however you want, do what's best for you. And so that right there is your first loop. And now again, same process. I just fed this rope right through the center. So we're going to pull it tight. We're going to take our fingers and we're going to spread the opposite rope, fid through. Again, backside, push through. Okay. So pull them tight, and right there is your first loop on your daisy chain. Wrap it around the tree, put that over your Versa button, you're good to go. Now what you're going to do, and I'm not going to show you here, is basically we have approximately, I don't know, we got a lot of material left here, and so at least 4 feet. And so we're going to continue this process all the way down till we get to about 3 inches from the end. All right, so I reached the end of the rope. Into the daisy chain there, I have 26 loops. This at the end is locked in with that Brummel splice. It's not going nowhere. And so what we're going to do quick, just to sure this up, we could just put that in shrink wrap and, you know, of course, heat it up if we wanted to, but we're gonna solidify this knot a little bit more. We have just come through this rope right here. Okay, so we have come through this rope. So what we are going to do now is we are going to take this rope and we're going to feed it through the center of that longer rope right there. The way we're going to do that is just right here at the end of the Brummel splice. Just pull that back out of the way, and you're going to begin to crunch open this rope like so. Just crunch it up. I might actually cut some of this off just a little bit, but we will show you. Now I know from trying this that this 1/4 inch fid's a little too big for this particular part, because once you start feeding it right through the center, it will start to bind on itself. So then it comes, you know, a little struggle. I mean, it can be done. I've done it, and I will do it here again. But what you're going to do is you're going to put that fid all the way through the center of the other rope, and it'll come out this side right here. Kind of push some of that back so you can see as I work it back. I'm not quite going up the center right there. There we go, starting to come out the center. And sometimes if this is too big, what's really happening is you got a wedge in there because you missed one of those threads. But slowly work it. And there's other ways, and there's other tools. This is not saying this is the only way, by no means. There's some tools that you could feed wire through, and the wire would clip onto this, and then you just simply pull that in through. There's many ways to skin this cat. This is just one of the ways. This is what I have. These are the tools that I have, and so it has worked, and it will continue to work for me. But again, I have seen other ways that have worked just as well. And so what you're going to do is, now that you got that kind of fed through, you're going to push it all the way back. Now, one thing that I'm going to end up working on is on the Samson splicing fid right here. They have like indentations there, and sometimes pushing them through, they get caught up on that one, didn't? My goodness. So that's what you do. You push the fid all the way through the end. Trying to make sure that we can see that good. And then that's when you take this, the rest of this, or the opposite end, and you're going to tuck that into the fid, like so. Just taking your time, taking my time. I'm going to get the pusher, which will help hold that rope in. And I'm going to push in tight, and then I'm just going to push that fid and the rope right through, like so. Okay, and then when I do that, I can go ahead and remove the fid. Fid has done its job. Pull back out the pusher. So what you have is this is the rope that I just fed right through the middle. And at this point in time, to finalize, all you're going to do is now you're going to take and you're going to begin to work the rope that you have just fed that other end through. You're going to begin to work that back out. Just grab it, pull it tight. Pull it tight like so. And that is basically going to bring it over that second piece of rope that you have buried inside of there. So at this point in time, I will grab my my shrink tube. I'll put the shrink tube over it. We'll heat it up and kind of just make it a nice end right there. Do that. Cut a little bit of rope. Okay. Get that in nice and burnt over itself. There you go. Make sure you don't set the fire alarms off in your house. That's all you're going to do. Get that nice and hot. And if you want, trim any excess off. There we go. That finalizes the daisy chain. A little bit better. Like so. All right, and so just like that, probably, I don't know, 25 minutes, I created an 8-foot long daisy chain. There's your Versa button loop, the first locking Brummel splice. I then came down 36 inches, and I started the daisy chain portion by making the first locking Brummel, and then all you do is just continue that down. After 26 of those loops, came to the end. We fed one end of the rope right through the center of the other one, put some shrink tube in there, and there you have it. An 8-foot daisy chain, getting ready to head to Wisconsin. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you get time, if you like this, why don't you drop down and hit subscribe, and we're going to continue to produce some videos that will be helpful. Thank you for watching again.